Life can be hard, and we've all faced those moments that seem to stop us dead in our tracks. But what if those moments of difficulty, the bad news, could actually be a springboard for something greater? I'm Cam Garvin, and each week I'll bring you stories of extraordinary resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive. This is the Productive Lives Podcast. Welcome back. In part 2 with Brad Robinson, we look at what happens when corporate retirement turns into kingdom refire. Brad breaks down his massive role supplying operations for Coca-Cola and explains how those exact logistical skills prepared him to build makeshift medical equipment in global hot zones like Sudan. So from Coke, you did all that. You retired. What was your level retired?
When I retired in 2014, I was vice president of supply management for the U.S. I'm not exaggerating, almost 24/7. And when Connie and I we were on our way to church, I think it was January or February of that year, and she had to drive because I was doing emails because of different plants being shut down and senior levels wanting to know what's going on. And I said, Connie, this is it.
Yeah.
It's too much. So,
I'm done.
Yeah.
So explain that to everybody.
Okay. So I had a team of directors that sat on each business team for Coca-Cola for the U.S. and Canada. So by business teams, you would have the carbonated team. You would have the, they called it sports drink. It was Powerade, and then a few other minor brands that don't even exist now. And then you had the juice brand, et cetera. And so we were responsible for making sure we had the adequate production, warehousing, transportation, and supplies for the next 2 to 5 years. And then if we were going to not have enough operation capability, we then had to present, okay, we need to build a new plant. So it was, it was great experience, but it was a good time to go too.
Which I think that experience helped you in your retirement, refire. And I just want to say, I've been to Rwanda and I found a Coke. I've been to Peru and found a Coke. I have been to the Dominican Republic and found a Coke. I'm like, you guys knew how to get your product where it needed to be. So that's amazing that you could do that. Yeah. So learning that, I'm thinking Ukraine, or maybe there's something in between I didn't know.
Well, actually, so if you remember, there was the Paradise Fire years ago in California, Northern California, and that entire area was wiped out. And I had been praying and thinking, okay, what do I need to do? I conquered surfing to my level, so I was okay. And then I happened to meet a guy that said, oh, I just volunteered, my wife and I, with Samaritan's Purse up in Paradise. And we went up there, we stayed at the church, and we helped the homeowners that lost their homes sift through the ashes. So Connie and I went up there we were there 3-4 days and went out with the team sifting through. There was a couple homes. One home was clearly a believer's home. They said, we've lost everything, but God's got a plan. But then the next home we went to, the homeowner, the lady, Connie never sifted. She just was hugging and praying with the lady. She was a non-believer. And then we went back to the church there, or where we all were staying, all the Samaritan's Purse volunteers. There were 100 volunteers staying the night at this church, showering, being fed, giving all the tools to go out to do the different homes and sort through the ashes. And I looked around one night, and the program director on staff with Samaritan's Purse, I said, you've got such a well-oiled machine here. How many paid staff from the Samaritan's Purse are here organized on this? And he said, there's only 3, myself, my assistant, and the maintenance guy. He said, the rest are all volunteers. And right then and there, I said, this is where I'm going to serve. God's got me. And so I ended up, Con and I did a couple more deployments, they call them. And then they asked me to be a team leader. So I guess for 4 years, I was a team leader. We did hurricanes, floods, fires. And then I was asked to interview for DART. It's their international, it's a disaster assistance response team.
Gotcha.
And what you would know about them was, remember during COVID, Central Park Emergency Field Hospital. That is what DART does. We do emergency field hospitals as well as water treatment and food. So anyway, so because of my supply background, they pulled me right in.
So it sounds almost like we talked about, one time we talked about Moses and had 40 years, as the prince, 40 years in the desert, then 40 years really what he was made to do, or his convergence. None of this was wasted. Brad,
right,
I think anything you did was never wasted, and it was profitable, it was productive, it was intentional, but it seemed like a convergence of some cool things that you've done and some things that you knew that the kingdom probably couldn't afford you if they hired you before.
Well, you look back and all my supply experience with Coke operations, and it just fit with the North American ministries. And then moving on, it just fit. With DART, Samaritan's Purse DART International, I managed the emergency field hospital medical supply. So we have a big tent that just has all the medical supplies. So you're exactly right. It's everything that I learned with Coke. God just opened the door for that next chapter.
That's wonderful. Lessons learned from all that? Anything like, I know we're going to keep talking about Ukraine and some others, but
no. Right. Okay. Here's the big lesson learned from a year ago when we were in Sudan for 6 weeks. There was there's a civil war going on there, and we were sent down to an emergency field hospital there were about 1 million refugees in this big camp. We actually, the doctors were birthing 10 to 20 babies a day. That's how, it was just amazing. Wow. So there was a preemie born, and they came to me, do you have a incubator? Well, no, I didn't have an incubator. So the operations maintenance guy, he said, wait a minute, let me put one together. So he got lumber out of old pallets. He built a incubator. He went to town and found a hairdryer, stuck the hairdryer in, and that baby went in there. So all of a sudden the light bulb went up. God can use everybody, no matter what their skill set or past experience. There's a piece, I'll say, in the mission field, if you will, that they can be used. So
that's fantastic. That's awesome. And people think, I got to be a pastor, a missionary, I got to go to Bible school. It's like, no, some of the people that are in careers that need people like that. No, that's great.
Yeah, and DART, the international team that I'm part of, besides the medical professionals that are there's me, supply, then there's the maintenance guys like this one, the built incubator, but there's also water treatment. Because as you know, every third world country, water is the biggest issue. So Samaritan's Purse actually helicopters in water treatment systems for the area and then hook it all up. And that is a big piece, as well as food supply and other things. So.
No, you think of the UN, you think of Red Cross, and they're awesome too. But to have that capability, and then from a Christian perspective, not that the other teams aren't doing well, but to have that Christian perspective, because it could be another war. You could be never get out of any of that if you don't know the Lord, what you're hoping. Oh, that's great.
And that's the key. We're there to serve. And there's a saying, and I always have to write it down. There's a saying that one of the senior officials with Samaritan's Purse always quotes it. And let's see, I'm looking for it here. It is, the quality of our work is the platform of our witness. And that is Samaritan's Purse. Yes, we go in with food, with medical, with water treatment, but then we're able to pray with the people. We're able to witness to them, even in Sudan, where it is Muslim. A huge Muslim. Yeah, right. And right now, I got the notice, but I was gone in Spain. but they're in the Congo right now with the Ebola outbreak. They have emergency field hospitals set up there. So,
wow. So you're called, like they'll call you and you say, I'm available, I'm not available, or
yeah, exactly. We first get a blanket email. We're going to be calling people with specific skill sets. And if you're not available, please go in and put in there that you're not available. Like we were moving here last September, October, and I was called to go to Syria and do the medical field supply. So, but I had to say no. It sort of stung me a little bit, but hey, we were moving. So.
Yeah, no, you have to do what you got to do. I think that's, I think with Samaritan's Purse, which I really appreciate. I met Franklin Graham at Princeton University years ago, and he was speaking. We went over, he was just starting Samaritan's Purse. And we go up to him. He's a big guy. He was at least to
tall
me.
Guy.
And I said, hey, we want to get, college students, we want to get involved. And he goes, go serve at your church in the missions. I'm like, okay. But like, just go do something. You don't have to be with us. And I thought, good advice. Let's do that. And at Productive Lives, you're right. We're giving food to people. We're providing recess for teachers. We're doing, drug outreach and try to get people off the street. But once you start helping, I think someone said an empty belly has no ears.
So, that's good.
That you could say to the little kid in Africa, you need to know Jesus. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Or the mom, I want to tell you about your baby. I need my baby in the incubator. Right. And that gives you an audience. You do it because you love them and God provides. I've seen Jesus in the gospel always bumps up against people's needs. Yeah. But he didn't heal everybody. He didn't set up every tent. He didn't set up he went to the cross ultimately, but yes, on his way. Yeah, I love that. I love what you're doing.
And they all know we're Christians there, even if we're not standing at pulpit in the desert of Sudan, but they know we're Christians and we're serving them. And that little thing who knows where that'll grow and blossom.
Planting seeds.
As Brad reminds us, meeting practical emergency needs creates the ultimate platform for our witness. Next time, we'll follow Brad on the front lines of Ukraine and join him on a grueling 571-mile pilgrimage across Spain. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening to the Productive Lives podcast. You can expect new episodes every Monday, and if you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. This helps others like you find the show. The Productive Lives podcast is supported by Productive Lives, where our mission is people serving people, and our vision is to motivate people to improve their lives and the lives of others through servant living and leadership. If you want to live a productive life and help improve the lives of others, visit our website for more information, productivelives.org. The Productive Lives podcast is produced by Studio D Podcast Production and hosted by me, Cam Garvin. I'll see you next week for more stories of resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive.